The New York Times Book Review, November 10th, 2017. A Young Soldier's Moral Compromise by Alana Masad.
Devin Murphy's debut novel, The Boat Runner, tracks one man's descent from his idyllic small-town roots to the guilt-ridden life of a Nazi.
If Martin misses the zone of interest, provided a satirical, if chilling portrait of Nazi soldiers during World War II, then Devin Murphy's debut novel, The Boat Runner, does the opposite. Although no less chilling, it's also deadly earnest, full of discomforting nuance.
Jacob Koopman leads a pleasant, conventionally simple life in Delfzijl, a town in the Netherlands. His father is a light bulb designer and manufacturer whose factory is the town's main source of employment.
Tom, why is it so dark in here?
Jacob's brother Edwin is a talented artist. Their mother plays piano at home and the organ at church. They even have a dog. The family's affluence and status are, at least in part, what allow Jacob to remain innocent up to and including the summer he spends at a Hitler youth camp in Germany, where he receives the praise of older boys during war games and is honored with a shiny dagger.
When he witnesses the bombing of Rotterdam, Jacob truly believes that if it was the Germans who were coming, we would be fine.
We were dagger-carrying members of the youth camps, after all. Congratulations, we love you!
He's been fed the party line, and he trusts it. But after he witnesses the accidental death of his brother, who is pulled by a current through a manhole, something in Jacob begins to shift. Rudderless and suffering survivor's guilt, he begins working on his Uncle Martin's fishing boat, which was conscripted by the Germans.
Martin wears their uniform and is viewed by the townspeople with suspicion. But Jacob discovers his uncle's true nature one night as he and Martin ferry a boatload of Nazis from one harbor to another. Martin maneuvers the unsuspecting soldiers into a small area of the boat, then shoots them in cold blood.
This is where the shifting moral landscape of the book begins to become evident. What Martin sees as part of the war effort, Jacob sees as murder.
After all, he trained in summer camp beside boys who became men just like these. He witnessed their essential humanity, both there and on his uncle's boat.
And it's the British Royal Air Force, not the Germans, who drop bombs on occupied Delfzijl. In his feverish desire to belong somewhere again, he decides to join the German military. He's certain they'll win the war and desperately wants the fighting to end so his life can return to something resembling normal.
Narrating from far in his own future, Jacob flinches when recalling his decisions. Still, he acknowledges that choosing to join the Germans was naive, but conscious.
Though Jacob eventually learns the depth to which his Nazi brethren will go, one gets the impression that even as an older man, he doesn't quite understand the complexity. His guilt eats away at him, leaving little room for a deeper explanation of the role that he has played.
I had endured disgrace, humiliation, loss. Loss of hope, loss of self, loss of ever re-emerging whole.
He tells us, comparing his experiences with those of the refugees, but until he ran away from home, Jacob's basic needs were being met.
Unlike so many others, he was not deemed subhuman. He lost his family as a consequence of the war, not by deliberate extinction.
Go Bill!
Murphy's astute and riveting portrait of one young man's inability to fully reckon with his past seems to pose a disturbing question. Are these actions that simply remain unforgivable?
Good.
New York Times book review of Devin Murphy's book, The Boat Runner, by Ilyana Masad, November 10th, 2017.
Congratulations, Dev. We're so proud of you. Love you.
New York Times.